Good morning. This is a very slow morning routine right out of bed just to get you a little more loose and limber, but more in tune with your body. We're trying to understand who the human is inside the body and how you can put that body on just like your favorite outfit. I want you to feel really amazing after this routine, one that allows you to move more relaxed, calm, and united with your body. So let's start. I'm gonna first just sit cross-legged, but we're gonna take a slight switch to the cross. So I'm gonna take my right knee and just cross it over this way, and I'm going to take my left and just hook it over top. From this position, I've pinned down the bottom knee, and all I'm going to do is lean over to the side. And this right here, ladies and gentlemen, opens up the entire side body. You're opening up the ribs, the hip flexors, the QL. Feel free to place your hand on the ground, or you can go down to your forearm if you have that flexibility. Just breathe. Let your head pull over to the side, and let gravity just take that overhand arm and let that pull over like an arc. Just feeling the expansion of the side body. It's a really nice stretch right along the hip. You don't know what kind of tension you've created in the middle of the night. Maybe you clenched. Maybe you were just sleeping on one side. And allow your breath, the exhale, to allow you to go deeper. You can hold on to the back of your head. You can actively pull. Whatever you want to do. We're going to just tilt our chest and eyes a little more down. Try to get more into the back area. And even add a neck stretch to it. All we're trying to do is spend more quality time in just a few of these stretch positions. The ones that get tight from maybe a lot of activity during the day, maybe a great workout. These are some of the darker areas, corners of the body that don't receive a lot of attention or light. Or maybe there's just your weak spots that need some more TLC, more than you know. Okay. Good. From here, before we get to the other side, we're going to go right into the cross. And you're going to continue pulling your kneecaps over each other. My toes are winged out, almost parallel. I'm not super flexible, which is why I love doing these videos. And all I'm just going to do is I'm going to lean forward. Oh, it's a really nice glute stretch. I'm resting my chest, my stomach on my inner thigh. I can even reach my hands forward if I like. Just breathing in the peace, the calm, the slow morning. You can hear the sound of the motorboats on this cottage on the water. I'll show you a tour later in Panama, in a region called Bocas del Toro. It's very reminiscent of the cottage life in Canada, where I'm from, the Muskoka Lakes. except it's tropical weather. You have mangroves. You have these morning howler monkeys and birds, tropical birds. You have these little fish that swim around your little dock. A light breeze. This morning was a little bit windier, so you can feel the breeze and the waves. Usually it's glass-like. Alright, let's get out of that pose and let's switch it up. So now we're going to switch the bottom knee. So I put the right knee on the bottom, now we're going to put the left knee on the bottom. And from here, I cross over, not all the way to my hip, just on top of my thigh so it pins it down. And then from here, lift the arm over, hand on by the side, and just lean over to the side. Ooh. This one doesn't really want to give as much compared to the other side. That's okay. Let's make sure you flex the foot. It's so good to give your body this morning treatment. It's a really common thing for those workers to just pop out of bed, go right into hygiene, brush your teeth, wash your face, maybe even take a shower while the coffee pot is dripping, brewing, and then right into work mode. Here's a chance to just slow down that pace. Maybe wake up earlier in the morning so you can take more time for yourself to center and not just transition abruptly. Give yourself that time to really listen in and be with yourself and be with nature. Be with your breath. Such a clarity-filled opportunity for you in the mornings. Tilt your body over. Bring your chest down towards your toes. Try to get that stretch now to the lower back quadrant, the QL, quadratus lumborum, which is an area that it's responsible for a lot. It could hold a lot of tension for you. It sure does for me. So when I stretch it open, I breathe in some oxygen, I signal to my body, my nervous system. Yeah, this part of the body wants a little more TLC nourishment. Okay. Yes. Now let's take that knee and pull it further across. This morning, this side's not budging too much. That's totally cool. And from here, just leaning forward. Yeah. Really nice glute stretch. The glutes are areas of our body that are responsible for hip extension, for uprighting you. They're always flexed when we sit, so they get a combination of being fatigued and also being overworked. The glutes are very powerful, lots of responsibilities on them. So to give them some stretching in the morning is a way to, you can say, open them up. Give them a release, decompress them, depressurize them, so that when the glutes are more mobile, it doesn't put pressure on the lower back, which is the typical area that kicks in when the glutes are tired. And also emotionally, the glutes hold a lot. So sometimes I notice myself, when I'm tense, I clench my glutes. Just like how some people clench their jaw, I clench my glutes. They relate to the root chakra, the sacral chakra. If you believe in that system, these are the foundational elements to our groundedness. So when we don't feel grounded and we don't feel centered and not safe with our surroundings, these areas tend to overcompensate to protect us. So our glutes and our hip flexors are very common areas that feel this level of stress. When we open them up in practice like this, we signal to them, we're safe, we're treating you, we're giving you some TLC. Okay, that's really good. Let's slowly come out of this stretch. Always nice and slow. Okay. You can see the other little casitas, cottages in the background. It's the mainland of Panama, and we're in Bocas, the other islands. Okay, so this next one is just seated forward fold. Very simple here. The only change that we're going to do is the angle of our feet. So let's start with just the toes pointing straight up. Big inhale. Press your palms down to decompress that back for just a few seconds. Shoulders strong, chest up. Relax your belly. And then sitting back onto your sit bones. And then slowly pulling forward. For now, just let the head be loose. And let your torso fold without pulling. We're not trying to force these ranges, these stretches and angles. Just letting our body slowly breathe into them. And allow the breath to let your body relax and have that create more space and range and depth. Just some nice deep breaths. See if you can go a little lower. Just lift off just a little bit, and then from here, heels out, big toes together, and then continue on with that forward fold. If you can reach for your toes, and what you can do is you can grab the baby toe pads, pull them up, and then with your thumbs, push your big toe knuckles away from you. So we're trying to evert the feet. And that really changes the stretch. You can even bend the knees a little bit. So again, I'm trying to pull my baby toe knuckles towards me, towards my face. And I'm going to try to push my big toe knuckles away from me. My knees are bent. And I'm folding deeper. Okay, from here, let's take our feet and turn them out. And now you're going to bend the knees even more. And from here, if you can, reach towards your heels or the outsides of your feet. Option 1 to pull forward. Or option 2, you're going to slide your hands underneath your ankles. Get your forearms underneath your calves. And just use this as a way to help get you really low. And again, letting your head fold forward in between your shins, right down towards the ground. With those knees bent and the shift in the rotation angle of your legs, we now treat other parts of the hamstring. So straight on, we got the main biceps femoris. And then as we start to turn our toes in, and now in this position, talking to other muscles like the semitendinosus, semimembranosus, these other hamstrings. And of course, you're going to feel that too in your lower back, the back of your head. All right, nice and gentle. Now we're going to change our posture to face the front. So, going into our all fours position. And from here, just sitting back into a child's pose. Let's get our knees out a little wider. Sitting right back into your heels. Forehead on the ground. Such a great exercise. Real go-to for everything restorative and relaxing. Get quite meditative as well. Meditating on what I said before about feeling safe in your surroundings. Safe in your social circles. Safe in your soul and your spirit, and your body and your mind. This is the kind of work that allows you to get there. You breathe, calming your nervous system, training it, conditioning it, teaching it to be in these safe spaces. Okay, let's slowly come out of this position. We're going to go into a more gentle version of the hip extension. So we're going to go into the forearms. And I'm just going to hold this MACKENZIE position. My palms on the ground. My forearms are parallel with one another. My head is upright, nice and tall, looking forward or slightly down. Just contrasting that hip flexion to now open it up. I love doing those contrast moves where I'm opening up one part of the body while another part is closed, and then just doing a little switch. That switch, opening and closing, closing. It's just like the doors opening and closing, allowing things to move in, move out, move in, flush out. It's a real cleansing for the circulatory system and the lymphatic system. Also, when you hold an end range, there's a little pressure that builds. And then when you shift into the opposite contrast position, there's this flush, and it feels so good. Wow, there's this really light mist that I can feel right now. It's just coming in. It's beautiful. You can wiggle your hips side to side. Just nice to gently rock that pelvis. Okay, from here we're gonna press ourselves up into that full cobra or upward dog just for a second. And then bend at the hips, tucking your toes. Let's get ready for a downward facing dog. Alright, here we go. Oh, this one's a great stretch. You can bend the knees, pulling your ribs closer to your thighs. Arms are strong and structured. Creating this really beautiful shape requires a good foundation, so that comes from your hands through your joints of your elbows all the way up to your shoulders. And breathing. You can pedal out through your heels. Just relaxing your head. You can take your right foot, step forward a little more than your left, and then back up your left. And then we're just gonna oscillate between your right foot pressure, pressing your right heel down, and then pressing your left heel down. Just doing a little bit more movement, mobility, and stretching. Just because we're waking up the body, we don't want it to close down. So we're going to start to introduce a little more motion to it. And I like doing these oscillating, gentle rocks between one side of the body and the other. Okay, let's switch the feet. If you need a little break, you can feel free to come back down and take a rest for your shoulders and hands. Just rocking to finish this one out. I'm going to finish off with a couple of twists movements. Alright, from here, let's bring ourselves back down to the ground. And you're going to extend your right arm out. We're going to be doing a scorpion. Right arm out and slightly up. And then take your left leg and hook it. And just rest. Ooh, I don't know if you heard that, but I just cracked my back. A nice chiropractic release. And in this position, you can press your hand down a little more to add more weight to the stretch or to the twist. You can play with the direction of your foot. You can go further back. If you don't have that much, you can bend the knee. But just try to find yourself into a calm. This is a powerful one, very potent. So you do as much as you need to feel good in your body. Again, we're not forcing any stretch. We're just getting into the position and allowing our breath and the time and gravity to do its magic. Let the forces that surround you, let the forces bring you further into these very valuable positions. When you trained your body and your mind together to unite, you're also telling it that you value these positions, you value this practice. The more and more you do this, the more you're telling yourself, self with a capital S, that you value yourself, that you love yourself, that you're taking care of yourself. Again, you're training the human inside the body to become more united, more harmonized with the body. Okay, let's bring ourselves back to center. And pardon my backside. I'm going to do the other. Left hand is out. And I hook that leg over and back. Oh, yes. This is nice. It's nice to audible your sensations. Just like a nice It's an acknowledgement. And what is acknowledgement? It's appreciation in action. Alright. Let's extend our arm over and lie down on our backside. It's so nice to finish on the back. Shimmy down onto my towel. From here you can do a light, gentle windshield wipe with those knees, heels out. Bring it in with a knee hug. A nice resetting. When you do twists or single-sided activities, it's always nice to bring it back to a both-sided activity / stretch or exercise. Again, just to recenter and balance. We can go into a happy baby if you like, grabbing the outside of one foot and then the outside edge of the other, and then allowing your soles of feet to parallel the ceiling or the sky. Just breathing into that nice groin stretch. Allowing your head to just stay down, lengthening the back of the neck with a chin tuck. Let's add a bonus one for the neck. All you're going to do is grab onto the shin of your right, so right hand grabs the right shin, and just gently crawl your foot down so that that shoulder stays depressed, and then you're going to take your hand and lightly pull your head to the side. It's that combination of the shoulder down and the side bend of the head that really helps create some space in your neck. And all we gotta do is breathe. Good, let's switch sides. Right, left hand now, grabbing onto the left shin. Tilting your head to the side, feeling the shoulder down. It's nice to use the ground as an anchor. So you can just pin the head down. Breathing into that tight, restricted, maybe congested from the evening neck. Okay, turn to your side and slowly make your way up to seated. And coming back, well, there was a nice slow morning yin routine to get you grounded, centered, and ready for the day. My name's Julian. I hope you enjoyed that morning stretch sequence. Namaste. May the force be with you.